All right, Ben. So, well, why don't we start with what are your thoughts about in general, about the Benjamin F. Ward um, Arts Endowment?
Endowment. Well, I'm thrilled. As you know, it was a complete surprise when we had our last reunion. And pitchforks are not notable for their uh, discretion or ability to maintain a secret, but this time they really did, so I was completely blown away with it. Now, I'm very excited because um, I think the arts scene among undergraduates at Duke has gotten stronger. When I came here in 1980, there were some very, very good instrumentalists with whom I had the chance to play, cellists, violinists, flutists, and so on. And that was a thrill. But there were very, very few of them. Now my sense is that the numbers are much greater, and students are forming all kinds of ensembles, quartets or wind ensembles, and so on their own initiative, and I'm very delighted at that development. So one of the things I would like to see would be opportunities for students to perhaps travel a bit, to take classes or hear different kinds of performers, opportunities when performers come to Duke for them to interact with undergraduates. I know sometimes their time is limited and they can't always do it, but sometimes that probably could be arranged. You know, master classes or just conversations about how people began their careers and have sustained their careers. What it's like to be a professional flutist or cellist or whatever it may be. Because I think students here have very little sense of what that really involves. And also something to really encourage students to attend more concerts. When the orchestra plays, there's Duke Symphony Orchestra, which is essentially undergraduates and other people who play with it too. The turnout has improved a bit, but it's still not what it should be, I think, in comparison with other kinds of activities. And then when soloists or other people come from other places, like last night, for example, I attended a concert, a piano trio concert. It was absolutely magnificent in the newly renovated Baldwin Auditorium. There were hardly any undergraduates there. And of course the tickets are very, very cheap. I think they're either $5 or $10 for undergraduates. And, so expense is not, I don't think, the main issue. Sometimes it's just awareness, but and especially now with Baldwin being newly renovated in such a beautiful acoustical setting, I think students would really enjoy hearing music there and perhaps performing it as well. So I guess my main idea would be that students would become more active musically in terms of attending concerts, being able to interact with visiting artists, perhaps being able to do some traveling to concerts or other musical activities. One thing I would love to see would be more, well, I don't think there's any now, but some interaction between Duke undergraduates and students at the School of the Arts in Winston-Salem. There are, it is a School of the Arts, and they have high school students, college students, and some graduate students. And I'm on the board of the school and have been active for 12 or 13 years now. And sometimes students from the School of the Arts come here to see me or to ask me for advice or listen to them play their piano pieces, wherever they are. And I try, whenever I know they're coming, to have them interact in some ways with art students here, primarily music students here, but sometimes other kinds of arts as well. And that's always a wonderful opportunity. And Winston-Salem is only 80 miles away, so it probably wouldn't take that much to get a group of students to go over there and attend a performance. They do ballet, they do all kinds of musical performances. They have a wonderful student orchestra. They do design and production, filmmaking. A lot of students here are interested in those things, but and then there are wonderful resources in Durham, to be sure, and Duke has improved in some respects. But this school is essentially for that purpose, so the students there are immersed in the arts. And so the endowment could perhaps make it possible for there to be greater interaction among the students and faculty of the school and Duke students having some kind of exchange. I think that would be a wonderful opportunity. There probably are other things. We do have a provost for the arts, Scott Lindroth, who's a composer, and I think we would welcome his ideas about things that the endowment might support. I mean, he has his own budget, and he contributes to various things, various student organizations, but there might be other things that he would have in mind that we could profit from as well. And I would love to be involved with as much of it as possible. I treasure my engagement with undergraduates. And right now, for example, several students, piano students, will come from time to time and ask me to listen to what they are preparing for their recitals or whatever it may be. And I take every now and then 5 or 6 students with me to concerts. There's a program that gives faculty and residents a certain number of tickets to take students to concerts, and I always take advantage of that. And sometimes I just buy tickets on my own if I think there's something going on that would be really of interest to students. And already this year, several students who are accustomed to that have inquired whether there's a wonderful young Chinese pianist, Yuzhou Wang, who's coming on the 24th of October, and I think a lot of students here in the Arts Dorm are interested in hearing her. So I've already gotten about 10 tickets for them, and we'll have maybe a dinner or something, or dessert or whatever, and talk about the performance. And they'll often come back here and listen to, recordings. I have quite a number of recordings here, and we have fun listening to different performances of the same piece. Because a lot of people ask, why do you have different recordings of the Beethoven piano concertos or whatever it is? I say because every performance is different. Even if you have the same ensemble that recorded in 1970, they recorded again in 1985, it's going to be very, very different. And then you have different performers doing it. So the students learn a lot from that. But one of the main things, though, really is having them have a chance to interact with performers, and having them a chance to ask questions. But that does happen every now and then. And I know not all artists are interested in that or have the time for it. But I would think if we plan ahead, a lot of them would be. And the students would benefit from that. I know I had that experience when I was an undergraduate at Yale, that I had lots of visiting artists coming, and I had a chance to play with students and faculty in the School of Music, but also interact with some of these guests. And it was just a magnificent experience. Anyway, that's some of my ideas.